Welcome back, everyone. It's been a great day on our conference so far. Let's present our next, NanoXplore Inc. It trades on the OTCQX under the symbol NNXPF and on the TSX under the symbol GRA, and is the largest graphene producer in the world at the lowest cost. The company's flagship Graphene Black solution will help power the energy transition and sustainability mega trends, which will unfold over the next decades, that's for sure. I'm pleased to welcome Martin Gagné, the Director of Investor Relations at NanoXplore, the global leader in graphene production. Martin brings more than 15 years in the investment industry and holds CPA and CFA designations. Prior to joining NanoXplore, he worked as a senior analyst and portfolio manager for asset management firms covering multiple industries in the Canadian and U.S. equity markets. Welcome, Martin. We're happy to have you on the Emerging Growth Conference today.
Thank you very much, Anna, for that nice introduction. And thank you again, Emerging Growth Conference, for inviting us. We're happy to be here.
Wonderful. The floor is yours, and call me back when you're ready for questions.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everybody on the line. So let's start with NanoXplore at a glance. So we were founded in 2011. Like Anna said, we're the largest graphene producer in the world with 40% share of the overall market at the lowest cost. So just those two key criteria is a very good moat for NanoXplore. The other thing that is very important is we have very strong certification globally in key markets such as the EPA in the US, REACH in Europe, and also in Canada. We have 10 production plants in North America and Europe, and we have roughly 500 employees. As you can see on the right side of the screen, our key business is retransportation. But eventually that's gonna diminish down the road as we delve into different other end markets. Our blue chip customers, as you can see, are very well-known global companies like Volvo, Packard, Ford, Daimler, even Caterpillar. Also, we have a venture called Volta Explore. It's a graphene enhanced lithium battery manufacturer. We'll discuss that a bit later in the presentation. So here are some numbers on the left side. So we have a high market cap, $550 million in Canadian dollars. We have a strong cash position at $39 million and strong liquidity as well. And our trailing 12 months revenue is $116 million. So let's switch to what is graphene. So graphene was discovered in 2004 and got a Nobel Prize in 2010 by two professors from the University of Manchester. It's an exfoliation process. So graphite, it's a derivatives of graphite. So graphite, it's a multi-layer of carbons. To get to graphene, you exfoliate all the layers. So if you think of a deck of cards as graphite, graphene is a single card. So it's a two-dimensional type of material, and it has very good attributes. It's thin, it's strong, it's very conductive. It's chemical resistance, it's UV resistance as well, so very good attributes. So how do we play in this market? This is our solution here. It's called the Graphene Black, which is a proprietary technology. It's a clean technology, so it's a clean material. It's a water-based exfoliation versus currently in the market, it's more of a hydrocarbon-based type of exfoliation. So we have an 80% lower carbon footprint versus current solution. So it reduces your CO2 emission, and it's much safer for the environment and also for human. And it's non-carcinogen as well. The different application that goes into our Graphene Black are multiples. But the different forms, there's three types of forms that Graphene Black comes with. You have the powder form, which is, you get different applications such as drilling fluid, battery materials, and concrete. Then you have master batch, which is a mix of graphene and plastic that comes in a pellet form. And this is more towards a thermoplastic type of applications, such as geomembranes, insulation foams, recycled plastic, geomembranes. The last form is in composite. So you get graphene enhanced composite parts, such as roof. So you can say a Volvo truck, a roof, it's a graphene enhanced roof, or a roof, or a hood, even battery enclosures, which we can discuss a bit later in the presentation. Our graphene is very high it's high purity contents, 96 to 98%. So we believe that we're in a very strong position. It's a very versatile solution, and we believe that we're going to win market share as we go along in the future. Our manufacturing footprint. So we have 10 manufacturing plants in North America and in Europe. Our main graphene hub is in Montreal. So we ship to customers from Montreal, and also to our other plants across our network for their compounds and composite parts. So, as I said before, our carbon footprint, our graphene has 80% lower carbon footprint than other solutions in the market. So we believe that we're going to be able to power the 2 mega trends of the future, so sustainability and energy transition. So we're very positive on those trends, and we believe that we have the solution in place to succeed. So moving to a quick snapshot of our Q2, which ended in December 2022. As you see on the right side of the screen, the adjusted EBITDA, the trailing 12 months adjusted EBITDA, you can see a very strong improvement since our fiscal Q3 2022. We are hopeful that the trend will continue into the future. Moreover, as you can see, we've raised our guidance also, which is rare in this environment. It's a tough environment, but we are able to raise our guidance from $110 million for the full year 2023, ending in June. So we're going to increase that to $115 to $100 million, which implies a 22 to 27% increase in our top line. Moreover, if you look on the left side, the key development, so we're playing in different end markets. For instance, in drilling fluid, we're working with a large drilling fluid company, and they receive late-stage positive results, which increase the speed of drilling and also mitigate fluid loss. That's very important. And we're doing well with that customer, working with several customers in that end market. And we're hopeful. It's still early, but we're hopeful it's going to be a good vertical for us. In the insulation foam, we're working with a large global chemical company. It's in late stage trial. Again, they are showing strong performance, and a combination of costs make graphene very attractive for them. So we're in late stage trial. We're in discussion with them, late stage discussion as well. So we're hopeful we're going to penetrate that market and extend and penetrate, more in the future. Concrete, that's a big market. One of our big customers saw a 20% increase in compressive strength. And finally, we start commercialization with a sustainable packaging company in Latin America late last year, so calendar year last year, and we're doing well with them. So here it's the recent developments. I'm not going to go through all the entire slides. It's too much. So I want to focus on a few. So we have Solmax last year, so a year ago. It's the largest geomembrane company in the world. Their goal is really to be more sustainable. So they've reached out to us, and the relationship is doing super good. We signed a blanket purchase order with them. So they want to put more graphene, and they want a more robust geomembrane, and this is what they have with NanoXplore. So the relationship is doing super well. We're really happy with that relationship. Then later in August 2022, we acquired key assets from XG Sciences, especially in the battery side of things, the lithium-ion batteries. They have those patents in the silicon graphene additive technology, which is going to be very positive for us in the medium to longer term. And then finally, like in March, so call it a month and a half ago, we unveiled strong performance of our newly patented SIG anode additive solution, which is our silicon graphene technology. And we can discuss that later in our Q&A. So this slide is more of examples of commercial success, the type of companies we're working with. So we have like large commercial OEMs, passenger OEMs, packaging companies, agricultural companies, pipe companies. So this is kind of an examples of companies that we're working with. So this is an important slide. So this is our 5-year strategic plan. And if you look at the bottom left of the screen, these are the 3 key focus markets that we're going to concentrate our effort in the next couple of years. So you get the battery materials for our energy transition. You have specialty compounds, which what we're working with currently, and lightweighting composites, because EV is heavier than internal combustion engines. So lightweighting in the future is going to be very important for OEMs. And if you look at on our slide, on our graph to the right, we're currently at 4,000 tons of capacity, and we expect that in the next 5 years to increase 5-fold to 20,000 tons per annum. So let's delve into the specific key markets. So let's start with battery materials. We believe that this is a pull market, meaning it's going to be high demand with very little supply to source that market, especially in North America. So currently the capacity of batteries, according to BMI, by 2031 is going to be 1,000 gigawatt hour. That is equivalent to about a million ton per annum of active anode material. NanoXplore will play in 3 different types of products. So anode active material. We're going to play also in the anode performance additive, which with our silicon graphene technology, and also in the cathode conductive additive. A battery has 2 types of electrodes, the anode and the cathode. And the cathode, you need more conductivity, and this is where our graphene comes into play to boost that conductivity. So again, why investors would invest in NanoXplore is the value proposition that our solution brings to the marketplace. So as you can see, using our graphene enhanced anodes brings a lot of positive to the battery. So it enhances capacity. Because of its high conductivity, the charging time is much faster. Also, being in North America, you need a more stable type of performance, either in hot and cold temperature. And typically, a battery tends to perform not as good in cold temperature, but our graphene tends to be more stable in terms of performance. So that's very positive. And also, it improves safety because graphene has heat dissipation properties. So it's safer, it's cooler, the cells is cooler, so it's much safer because typically like a battery, a lithium battery tends to be very hot, and our heat dissipation properties cools that cells. So that's positive on the safety side. And this is what we're going to build. So our CapEx. So we're intent to build a 12,000 ton graphene and battery material facility. So our 12,000 ton will be split into 2. There's going to be 7,000 ton per annum of battery materials and 5,000 ton of industrial graphene. We're going to build also a line of 100 to 200 ton per annum of our SIG. It's called SIG, so silicon graphene line. This is it's a technology for us. The CapEx is going to be $100 million with potential annual revenue of $100 million. And as you can see, the potential return is pretty attractive at 25% plus. We expect to commission that plant in the in the back half of 2025, more in the later stage of 2025, calendar 2025. So battery materials is a very attractive market for us, very strong, supply and demand dynamic, especially in North America. So switching gears to lightweighting composite. So the sheet molding compound is the material for lightweighting composites. It's a sheet molding compound, so essentially it's a compound you put into press and you make a composite parts. When you add graphene, there's a lot of benefits that we discuss in the next slide, but the key markets we're going to play in is in transportation, mainly external parts of vehicles like hoods, roof, fenders, and also battery enclosures. Battery enclosures is a very interesting market because of the fact that it's a high loading type of graphene. So it's very interesting for NanoXplore, and it's a market that we want to focus on because it's going to bring up our margins down the road. And it's a big market, as you can see on the right. It's a $3 billion market. So the key benefit of our lightweighting composite. So by adding graphene to the SMC compound, as you can see, it can lower the actual part by up to 25%. So in an EV world, that's extremely important because as you can see on the top right, EVs tend to be 30% heavier than internal combustion engines. So it's for OEMs, lightweighting is a priority. It's also more sustainable because you can use less material, yeah, right? So it's more sustainable and you reduce your emission. So these are like key attributes of our graphene SMC, and we're receiving good feedback from customers using the product as we speak, and that's one of the reasons why we want to increase that business. And as you can see here, we're going to expand by 10 million pounds our SMC capacity. It's going to cost about $50 million. It's going to generate potentially on an annual basis $80 million of revenues with potential IR of 25% plus. And we expect the plant, the expansion to be commissioned in 2025. So again, we have strong attributes, good feedback from our customers, and we believe with the EV waves coming up in the next few decades, lightweighting is going to be paramount. Switching to our third leg of our key market, so it's our specialty compounds. So that's the industrial side of things. So this is what we're doing currently. We're testing. We're in R&D phase. Concrete is a huge market for us. It's a big potential market. PU foam, again, good market. Drilling fluid, again, it's a powder market, so that could be big. And also more the thermoplastic type of compound that we'll discuss in the next page. So looking at that screen, it looks very heavy, but if you look on the right side, you can see the potential addressable market for each end market. So concrete is a massive market. It could be 6 million tons of potential graphene. So just like a tiny bit of market share, market penetration, it's still sizable from the current 4,000 tons of capacity, right? So it's a big potential. It's going to take a bit longer, concrete, because it's high regulated industry. A lot of regulation, so certification and whatnot. So it's going to take a bit longer, but we're positive on that end market. Looking at drilling fluid, again, we're having good results so far actually with our drilling fluid business. We're in late stage discussions and testing with one large specialized drilling fluid company. The value proposition is interesting, very interesting. It's a large market. It's a powder market. So for us, a powder market it's the highest margin business. So we're positive in the next couple of years that we're going to expand that vertical. In insulation foam for housing, for instance, again, very strong results. We're working with a slew of customers. The actual results are very good. So our results are very, very strong. We're working with a very large global chemical company. Again, it brings a higher thermal and better thermal insulation properties, could be up 10 to 15%, better flame retardancy. And as you can see, it's a massive market of 170,000 ton of potential market. Again, just a small portion of that market is still like sizable comparing to our 4,000 ton currently of capacity. And in thermoplastic compounds, so the benefit of graphene is really that you can use more recycled plastic. So that's very important if you go into a sustainable world. Recycled plastic is very important. And we believe that our graphene enhance that property back to a new type of plastic. So there's no loss of properties by using graphene. So it's very important, and it's almost 100,000 ton of potential market. So all in all, graphene brings a lot of positive attributes with potential large market, and we feel confident about penetrating those markets in the future. But again, it's a new material, so we need to be patient, and we go as fast as our clients, but our goal is really to lower the sales cycle, and we're heading in the right direction. So we're going to expand the specialty compounds by 4,000 ton, but it's going to be in the out years, so in 2026-ish type of period. CapEx is going to be about $20 million with potential revenue of $40 million. Very strong potential IRR of 40% plus. And yeah, we feel confident that by that time, we'll be able to commission that 4,000 ton of additional capacity. So switching gears to Volta Explore. Volta Explore is our subsidiary, and they make cylindrical lithium-ion batteries, graphene-based though. Very strong attributes, very strong value proposition. Currently, we're in a 1 megawatt hour of demonstration facility in Montreal. We have tested the batteries, very strong results that I'm going to show in the next slide. We expect to build a 2 gigawatt hour plant using 21700 battery format. We expect to commission that plant in 2026. The federal government in Canada released their budget 2 weeks ago. It was very positive for NanoXplore and Volta Explore. There's a investment tax credit of 30% on investment. So that was a very good budget for both companies, NanoXplore and Volta Explore. So switching to the advantages of using graphene enhanced battery cells. So essentially what it does is that, I'm not going to go through all of them. So what it does is it increases energy density. It has a better cycle life. It has a lower weight. So that's very important. The lower weight is very important because of the fact that when you put thousands of cells, so just like a 10% reduction, that makes a difference, right? So it's very positive. And also it's much cooler. As you can see, the 26 degrees C versus 30 degrees C. So that means that it's a safer cell. So essentially, in a nutshell, your car can go farther with better safety properties. So that's very positive. So looking at the leadership team, we have a very strong bench, led by Surush Nazarpour. Nazarpour is the founder, obviously. He's the CEO. He co-authored a book on graphene, so he's the expert on in the graphene industry. And you can see the remaining team, very strong experience, so very astute executives. Nima is our global R&D person, PhD in mechanical engineering, very, very strong expertise in batteries as well. And we got Vince and Darren as our sales and marketing people. So the key takeaways. So in a nutshell, why should you invest in NanoXplore? First, we believe that the sustainability and energy transition is going to be here to stay, and we have the solution in place. These are big markets. We are the largest graphene production capacity in the world at the lowest cost. These are very strong moat. That is very important down the road for investors. You need moat to invest in the company, and we believe that we have those two. Is very important. We have direct exposure to the lithium-ion battery market, which is big, with our battery material initiatives and also our Volta Explore initiatives. And we're also focusing on very large and promising industrial markets with our graphene, with concrete, drilling fluid, insulation foams. These are very massive market that just a small market share gain it could be sizable. We have strong innovation capabilities, like I said, with Nima, our director of R&D. Very strong experience, very strong. He's an expert in the batteries and graphene. And obviously, we have a strong management team led by Surush. And finally, we can see our analyst coverage. So Anna, I think we're done with the presentation. So we can go back to the Q&A.
Great job, Martin. Thank you so much. Yeah, you spoke about this, but can you describe a little bit more the competitive landscape in the graphene market?
Yeah, well, like I said in the presentation, we have 40% market share in the graphene industry. So very strong moat. You need scale in that business to be able to lower your cost per unit. And currently, there's a lot of small companies with small production capacity. The closest competitor would be 6-Element from China. I think that's our closest maybe competitor, but in China, typically they sell within China, they don't sell abroad, so it's more captive in China. But we still have they still sell their graphene 3 times more than we do. So we believe that we're in a good position there. Again, we're a $500 million market cap company with $115 million of revenue. So we're a big company in the graphene industry. And something that we cannot miss is the certification, the EPA certification in the US. It's multi-year process and multi-million-dollar process. So it's a difficult certification to have, and you need to have the time and the financial wherewithal to do it. So I think we're in very good position in the graphene industry.
Wonderful. So what verticals, Martin, outside of batteries, are you excited in the next few months that can show commercialization potential?
Drilling fluid, very interesting. We're working with a slew of companies. There is one that is hopefully we're in discussion with them, late stage discussions, strong attributes. So very high thermal stability using our graphene. So there's less risk of material degradation. So what it does is it increases the tool life. It reduces downtime potential, and it improves also the drilling speed. And this is a big market. It's a powder market, so it's a very high margin type of business. So we're positive on that front. Then we have insulation foam as well. So we're working with dozens of companies in that segment, and our success rate is very good. We're very positive, very high success rate. Again, we're working with a large scale company, global company, chemical company. Again, insulation properties. So you increase your thermal insulation by 10 to 15%. So that's very important, and better flame retardancy. Then I talked a little bit earlier in geomembranes. Geomembranes is potentially a good market for us. Very strong properties. Like I said, our relationship with Solmax we're doing well, but I think it's a segment that is potentially very good for us down the road. Strong properties, very sustainable, less material use. So and longer lasting also. So these are good properties to have. So we're positive on that front.
And last question, just due to time, what type of performance are you seeing in your SIG technology when you incorporate that into your Volta Explore battery cells?
Yeah, we released the performance back in March, or a month and a half ago. Very strong properties. We're really happy with that. So we're essentially we can increase the range of the vehicle by 10%, so about 40 kilometers. So in miles, I don't know exactly how it stack up, but 40 kilometers. It's pretty good. The charging time, because of its high conductivity, it's about 10 to 13 minutes versus a typical charging now of about 30 minutes plus. So it's very strong properties. And also we have a cooler cell, so there's less risk of thermal runaway. And you make people in the car much safer. So if you combine those three properties, we believe that we're in good shape down the road. And we're hopeful that we're going to finance the Gigafactory, and we're going to create shareholder value in the future.
Well, Martin, you definitely piqued so many people's interest. We've got so many questions for you, but we are out of time to keep this conference on schedule. So we would love to have you back in the future with some updates.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much. Okay, everyone, stay with us. We'll be right back with our next presenter.